Good morning, guys, and happy Wildcard weekend. A little bit of a different setup this morning. We're going Saturday this week because of Whitney.
I got
Yeah, this is your fault.
Sorry.
No big deal. This actually works out better. We get to do a Wildcard weekend preview show, so I kind of like the Saturday show better. We can focus all of our energy on the game tomorrow, and Whitney can just do her thing.
Yeah.
So let's let's get this thing going.
All right, let's go.
We definitely have some of the greatest fans, and it doesn't go unrecognized.
But first I tell them run it out of Tampa through my hands, I'm by my lonely. Turned to a savage, now my baby wants to hold me. I love my fans, don't need no friends, I got my homies. Thought I could trust you, I find out you tried to zone me. I'm number one up on that court, I'm Nick McGrady. The first one in, the last one out, can't call me lazy. Put in my hours, send the invoice and they pay me. I need 6 rings like MJ and Tom Brady. I wake up, flex.
Can you guys hear me now?
There it is.
Yes!
Hey, there we go.
My mom, by the way.
Oh, hi, Mom.
I lost my mind. I'm like, yeah, baby, let's go, let's go.
I like this. I like it. There we go.
There we go.
Man, things got weird.
Y'all gon' make me take that trip way out to Europe. I call up Nigeria.
I don't want to keep up with everything, but
Those
everybody
London boys don't come
Do
to
it.
you should get worried.
You're on the team.
First move, find yourself, they getting buried. Dance with the devil, used to love playing those games. Made some bad decisions that brought my mama pain. I made a promise to her, swore that I would change. I'm on the come up, bet I live up to my name.
I'm so ready.
You needed the behind the scenes video for my dance at that. I don't know why. I was feeling it this morning.
She was, can confirm, she was grooving, guys.
I've just noticed I've seen it a million times now, but that right before it gets to our special guest part, both of those videos are from last year's wild card game. So seeing that again, goosebumps. Hoping to do the same exact thing this year.
That's right.
I'm ready to get this weekend going.
Oh,
This has been the slowest week I think I can remember.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Matilda's ready too.
She looks ready.
You ready, Kay? Are you ready?
Oh, good morning, Stranger 4420, Matt. Greg Luther is here. Who day, Greg? Yeah, guys, I'm so excited. I watched this morning. Somebody had posted the video compilation of when we beat the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl last year, and chills/tears for sure.
That was just the coolest. That was the coolest day. Being there was super cool. Like, just kind of watching the Chiefs fans' energy
You were at that
change.
game?
Yeah.
Oh,
We drove from Cincinnati on that was a Sunday game. We drove from Cincinnati to Kansas City. Ben drove. I sat in the back seat and I tweeted at the Bengals for 8 hours. Just 8 hours straight. I went through my phone. I tweeted photos, memories from every game, and it's kind of awesome. And then to just like be there, watch their energy. I don't know. I got kicked out of the stadium because I wouldn't leave at the end. I don't know if I ever shared that. Because they stopped the AV, like they turned off the sound and the video boards for the trophy presentation. We were up in the 300 section, so I ran down, high-fived a few guys, I don't even remember, and then a few of us were like, bring them back out, and the stadium staff were like, dude, the game is over, they're not coming back out, you need to leave. And I was like, no. And then they were like, well,
I live here now.
Yeah, this is my home. We own you. So eventually they escorted us out, And you'd think, okay, like this is a long time since the game ended. Literally, parking lot still full. Chiefs fans are all still there. We had to hitchhike to get back downtown Kansas City. That is one thing I will say about Arrowhead is like the infrastructure to get out of that stadium is crap. So I really hope we don't have to play there.
Yeah, me too, for lots of reasons, but that would be fun not to have to do that. You guys ready for your Luther vision? Thanks, Greg, for including us.
Cool.
Yay! So awkward every time. I don't know what to do with my face or my hands. Greg,
What do I do with my hands?
right? That's the first thing I think of every time. Like, I don't know.
So obviously, reliving last year's playoff run, we'd obviously love to do it again this season, finish things off. But we got to win the first one, so let's dive into that game this morning.
Let's do it.
Seeing some familiar faces, some ugly colors coming back to Paycor Stadium for the second week in a row. Probably having a different quarterback behind the line this week in Tyler Huntley. So how are we feeling this week about this game?
I'm so nervous. I mean, I think it's a good thing because, like, I've been nervous the last few weeks and we've done well and stuff like that. So I don't think it's like a bad omen for me to be nervous. I think I live in a nervous state when it gets to this part of the season. But I'm genuinely nervous. We should win, but that I never take that as a given. It's a divisional opponent who plays really, really nasty football. They were sitting some of their starters last week, and they still gave us a little bit of hell in parts. Like, I know we won handily, but also didn't we look a little off? So yeah, I'm nervous.
Well, you know, the thing that worries me, I put in the Tigress Talk chat, and I vowed not to say it anymore.
Don't.
I won't. I'm not going to say it. There's no similarities at all in any way from any other time. So, you know, I'm really nervous in a way I didn't feel like. I was nervous last year because it was like, oh, can we break the 31-year curse? But like last year just felt like we know that team was good. So it's not a surprise they were good. I think just the ways in which we kept winning were really exciting, and they exceeded our expectations, or at least they exceeded mine. Now that we are a badass team, my expectations are like up here, and I think that's the difference. Last year, my expectations were down here, and we just kept exceeding them, and I was like, this is the greatest time of my life. Now we know these dudes are just monsters, and I'm like, is this what like fans of, you know, like the Patriots in their years of, you know, winning a million Super Bowls? I was like, is this what they felt like every game? Like, oh my God, I know my team can do it, but what if something happened? So I don't know. That is like the nervous energy I'm feeling, because like, it's not a question of if we can beat them. We can certainly beat them, but it's like those other factors like officiating or the weird stuff that happened to us in the Patriots game this season. So
yeah, this comment right here.
Yes. Truth, stranger 4420.
Yes. Say it.
Hey, buddy.
I don't know. Matt, I promise I will not say anything that could even remotely jinx a single thing. I will be wearing all of my lucky jewelry. I'm going to be wearing a Blindside Images top just to like, because it's working for Jess. Like, might as well try it. I'm pulling out all the stops, everything I can do. But what about you, Tyler? Like, how do you feel about the game?
I don't know if this is a sign or not, but anytime Ollie makes an appearance on the show, he's 2-0 or 3-0. I can't remember which one it was. So I think that's a good sign for the
Ollie
show.
the Omen.
Oh.
So Ollie, you get comfy, buddy.
Go, Ollie.
But no, I feel extremely confident about this game. I just the one thing that does make me nervous is overconfidence. Like, we should win this game. We really should. But it's the NFL playoffs. It's an AFC North opponent. they're not backing down from this game. So I hope the mentality in the locker room is, hey, we're already eyeing up our trip to Buffalo. We still got 60 minutes of football to play against a defense that can at least keep their offense in striking range.
Yep.
So the question is, I think my magic number that I'm looking for this week is 20 points because I don't think that the Ravens have scored more than 20 points since Lamar Jackson has been out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what, 6 straight games, something like that. So I think if we can get to 20 points on Sunday, we'll be good. But the main thing is we got to play hard for 60 minutes and be able to bring at least match the physicality that the Ravens they're going to bring. I mean,
Right.
whether they're winning, it's a close game, and hell, they could be down by 20. They're still going to play smash mouth football.
Yep.
Whether we think it's dirty, whether it's pushing the lines or not. I think Zim said it best in one of the spaces from this week. I think it was like Wednesday or Thursday. He's like, I don't consider what they did last week dirty, but it was being extra physical and towing that line. So you can definitely expect that from the Ravens again this week, and we just have to match their energy.
I think Lamar is an interesting factor in this game. Obviously, we know he's not playing. I don't mean that. But whether or not that incites the players to just like play harder and show something, or I don't know if anyone saw in an interview, one of the Ravens was like, well, I hope he play. Like, this was just from yesterday. Like, it'd be really great if he plays. Like, we go all out. Like, I hope he'll make that decision. So the other side of that coin, not to bring coins back up, but the other side of that coin is they may feel really like discombobulated or kind of like let down by their brother. And so I'm hoping they feel a little off and let down by Lamar, and that they can't quite get their stuff together. So that's what I'm taking to the bank.
Yeah.
On the flip side of that, though, too, I don't know if you saw Sammy Watkins' comments, but he's like, we're all battling injuries, but we're all still out there. So
that might have been the
agree.
Same thing. That might have been the same.
Okay. So I really hope it tears apart the locker room and then they just come out and look like crap on Sunday. But at the same time, I could see it being like, you know what, screw this guy, we're going to win without him and show them that we don't need him. So,
yeah, for me, what I'm looking for tomorrow is, I feel a little bit. Oh my God, what happened? You have something to say, Ollie?
Ollie doesn't like Lamar.
Ollie's talking some shit over there.
Not a Lamar cat.
For me, like, so one of the things I'm looking for tomorrow is Joe Burrow's play, obviously leveling up from what we saw last week where he looked so off. That's the point of what I'm looking for that I feel the most confident in, because I just think Joe doesn't put together 2 games like that ever. And I think his mind is exactly where it needs to be. I don't worry at all about him looking ahead at the next game at all. I think he's super dialed in, and I expect him to look like the Burrow that we know he is this week. But I am keeping an eye on that. And then also the obvious, that O-line versus that defensive front. So that's what makes me the most nervous. Their defensive front is good. Like,
solid.
Really good. And our O-line, I have a little bit of faith in Max Sharping and Hakeem Adeniji to hold their own, but that is a whole new right side of the line. They're definitely going to get targeted. Jonah, I love you, bro, but like it's been up and down play. So like I'm a little concerned about that. I think if we can give Joe enough time to do Joe things, we're great. And we have no problems, but that's probably my biggest concern right now.
That's been one of the biggest factors, I think, in the improvement we've seen in the much more consistent play as the season went on, is the O-line creating a strong pocket, Joe getting that extra half a second, whatever it is, to throw the ball. So that makes me nervous too. I mean, we got to see some real fancy footwork from Joe
I
B,
I
which
I hate when he has to do that.
right. I mean, it's a great highlight, and I think I'm worried about injuries. There's some, like, with the Ravens, really physical, borderline dirty play, and then Joe having to kind of dance around, get out of the pocket, use his feet. I just worry about getting hurt and then having to make some potentially precarious throws to receivers that may be set up for big hits. I don't know.
Yeah.
Injuries make me nervous right now.
Yeah, that does too. I don't want to play this game. And it's not because I'm scared. I don't like the Ravens and their style of play right now. I don't appreciate it. How do you feel? I'm curious about your all's perspective. I know how I feel about it, but I think we're teed up for a really dicey game. I think last week was the first time I saw a couple of our players really on the borderline of losing their cool. They were not happy. There was a lot of I think back and forth on the field, that some we saw, some we didn't. But you could tell as the game progressed that it got chippier and chippier. Now our guys did a good job restraining themselves. They didn't do anything crazy like a few teams ago might have done a few years ago. But what do you guys think about their I guess their mental fortitude in terms of not getting beat that way, not taking the penalty, not taking the bait, keeping their cool? Do you think this team is going to be able to do that, or you think that they're going to come in already escalated and we could see some of that?
I think they've had a week to kind of cool off a little bit and kind of get their heads level. But reading like some of their comments and listening to some of their interviews, it is a little concerning to me, where it's like, all right, some of them got payback on the mind a little bit. So are they going to let that drive their game on Sunday, or are they going to just be like, you know what, we're just going to beat them straight up?
Yeah.
So,
Ollie's like,
amen, Ollie.
He said what he said.
all right, I will.
I feel like Burrow has a levelness. I mean, we know he can get hot. We've seen at the end of games or big wins, but I feel like there's something about him that brings like a really strategic, calm energy as a leader. I saw the comment about Chase handling it like a Buddhist monk.
Yeah,
Chase though is a little. That young gun can be a little bit of a firecracker, and he's one I worry about sometimes. Like, he's young, he's passionate, he loves this team, he loves to play, and I just think about week 1 against the Steelers. And it was at the game he threw somebody's mouth guard. And so he threw somebody's mouth guard, or he like yanked it out of their mouth. But it was in like the first 4 games. I don't remember if it was the Steelers game. So I can see Jamar being a little like, F you. Like, but on the whole, I think Zach Taylor, Joe Burrow, even like a Mike Hilton.
I forgot about that moment that Joe just mentioned.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
God, that was so iconic. That feels like a million years ago. Sorry, go ahead.
I think they've got a lot of leaders on that team. I feel like Teddy K is both passionate but also like level-headed. So I feel like he brings the raw when it's appropriate and it's time. But otherwise, he's just like,
Yeah.
All right, guys, come on. So
I think the thing that happens with Joe Burrow that I love when I see it happen, because you can see his face change. Like when it gets like that, instead of like getting bothered by it, he doesn't get bothered by it at all. It activates like that Joe Burr thing where he just kind of smirks, like, you idiots. Like, look what you made me do. That's like a Taylor Swift song, right? But like, he just gets really like, I don't know, sassy or something. Like there's just something like it brings an edge to them, and I think that there's an effect it has on the rest of the guys. Yeah, I agree, Tyler and Bridget. Like I don't think our guys get baited by that. I think they're more inclined to like drop a dime on you and be like, and let that do the talking.
Mhm.
Let that be the get back. But it was getting a little bit like borderline. Like I was worried. It looked like a powder keg out there that was ready to blow, and I was just waiting for it to happen. That's probably from shades of the past, like when that's happened, creeping back in. But this is a different team, and I think they'll handle it. So we shall see. What about the refs? You think we get a fair game called in the playoffs or what?
No, absolutely not. I don't expect any help from the refs. I feel like we're going to be playing two teams the entire way through the playoffs, so might as well just go into go into every game with that mentality, buckle up, and best. There's going to be some borderline calls thrown against us, and the best thing I can say is don't put yourself in that situation. So
And stack up
we're
as
just
many points as we can. Like that's the thing. Just do not leave points on the board. They can make shitty calls, they can do all the things, but if we can just be efficient and get points on the board, let's do it. I feel like the league, I mean, kudos to Bengals fans who are in Paycor or at Paycor on Sunday with the Goodell clown signs, and I saw an F the coin flip. I mean, and we know the league told. So I asked a little bit about this because I was curious how the league can tell fans to take signs down. I was like, well, that's the Bengals stadium. Like, how can. And I heard security is actually managed. There's both league and like stadium security,
yeah.
and like they're kind of managed by both. So I feel like the league really is going to have it out for us because with the celebration, the signs, everything that's on social, what Mixon tweets out yesterday after the fine, I want to be quite clear. I am supportive of all of these things. I do not think that we should not have done them. I am very supportive. And the league is a bunch of big old babies. And I think this is going to. And isn't the NFL the only professional sports league? I might have said this last week. I don't remember who employs the refs. Isn't that every other league? Don't they have like independent? The refs are independent.
I don't know.
I don't know if anyone knows.
I'd have
For
to
some,
look at it.
I just feel like they're self-governing is what I've always heard. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but like I think that's one of the biggest pain points for me is that they kind of evaluate themselves and score themselves every week. And I think they're a little too self-governing and a little too protected and I've said this before, like the fact that coaches like in their pressers after the games can't speak out against calls or anything like that. They can't bring it up. I don't know. I think that it's not critical enough on their performance, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not going to worry about them. I think that I've said this several times, but I do believe that the league unintentionally gave us a gift with all of this because it just galvanizes our team. It gives us a nice little chip on our shoulder that hopefully we ride all the way to the Super Bowl. So,
And that's like you said, that's when we play our best ball. And I think we touched on it a little bit last week after the Monday night game and what occurred in there is like how do you snap back to football? Well, the NFL is just slapping the Bengals right in the face, left and right, and I mean that's going to snap the entire locker room right back into football mode, just like that. So I love it. Perfect timing. Obviously, to get ready for a playoff run, to have that fresh chip, and the feeling of the world against you is perfect.
Cincinnati versus the world. Bring it. Thank you, NFL. Thank you, Roger Goodell. Appreciate it. This is probably the gasoline on the fire that we really needed.
I saw this
Derek.
clip from Emmanuel Ocho this morning. It's like a 1 minute clip. But I feel like he's one of the only people ever championing the Bengals. He's like, what are you all talking about? Like Chiefs, Bills, Bengals don't have a chance. They are the reigning AFC champions, and they've come back this season better than last. Like, what are people doing? People are playing with fire. NFL is playing with fire. So, like the match, we saw it in the promo videos at the start of the season. The Bengals were ready to play with fire. So, I think this is when they start to cook. Let them cook.
I just wonder how much that the first 2 weeks of the season has like molded everybody's opinion about the Bengals. Because if we win those two games, hell, if we just win one of those games, like we're tied with the Bills. We're a game, well, technically a half game behind the Chiefs right now. And all of a sudden, I feel like the narrative changes to, oh, it's just the Bengals, to, hey, they're right there with the Chiefs and the Bills, instead of one or half game and 1.5 games back of them both.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about our buddy Joe's prediction? 24-16, good guys. How far away are you guys in that? You think it's high scoring game, low scoring game? What are you seeing?
I think it's going to be I've just had this feeling that it's going to be a low scoring game. I've kind of been stuck on Bengals at about 20-23, and the Ravens, probably about 10-13, somewhere in that range. Like I said,
Not too far off from what Joe's predicting.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think the Ravens defense is going to be able to keep their offense at least within striking distance. So from that point on, like I said, let's just get to 20 points. I feel extremely confident, about our odds if we can get to that mark. Yeah.
Derek will tune into Bengals and Brews tonight at 7. See your prediction. Nice teaser. Nice teaser. Yeah, I don't know. So if this was a regular season game, I would be inclined to agree, and that would be exactly what my prediction is. Ravens have not really shown themselves to be able to put up any kind of points. It's their defense that keeps them in games for sure. And I have faith in our defense being able to kind of keep the trend the same. But playoffs are different. Playoff ball is different. And I'm not hoping. I know that we'll have real legitimate home field advantage. That stadium is going to be nuts. It's going to be next level. I know you guys that are going to the game are going to be the X factor that definitely helps fuel the energy for the guys. And then also scream on defense, please, every time, make as much noise as possible. But anyways, all that to be said, I do think there is a possibility that this could come down to the last few plays. I think they could keep themselves in it. I wouldn't be too shocked if it's like a field goal at the end or a touchdown at the end that wins it for us. I could see it being closer than that. I think their defense is coming out on a. What do you think, Bridget?
So I've been going back and forth because we played good playoff football last year, but we were a field goal away. I mean, the Bengals Titans game, that divisional playoff game, that didn't feel like great football. What was that, 19-16 maybe was the final score?
Sounds about right.
I feel like we are a better team. I think that the Ravens are gritty. They certainly are. But I feel like we might make a bit more of a playoff statement in this game. Not sure that games will be that disparate moving forward. I'm going to go 31-17. I'm going to go Burrow making those long passes that we were 0 for 7 on at one point. That's not going to be the case, and that's going to be because it is a crazy environment. People are going to be out of their dang minds. I'm thinking about the first 10 minutes or so of the Monday night game when we were seeing the offense
Yeah.
just really, really move
That's
the
what I really
ball.
want to see.
So
Yeah.
I'm going to go 31-17.
You know what I didn't even factor in until like we just started talking about home field advantage is this has the very real possibility of being the only home game that Cincinnati gets to see during a playoff run. And so the guys will probably try to show out for the crowd. I think they really do care about the fans in the stands and want to give back as much as you guys are giving, because you guys are really giving it at the stadium. And I think maybe that's the extra edge. Maybe you're exactly right. And we blow it out.
And maybe the
I don't know.
Dolphins beat the Bills. Who knows?
I mean, I've seen movies where miracles happen and stuff, so it's possible.
And let's not forget how much of a difference the fans made in that wild card game last year. I mean, we derailed a couple of those first couple drives for the Raiders and burned a couple
Yes,
timeouts
sir.
for them. So
Yeah.
hopefully we can bring that same level of. I have no doubts we will. We'll be able to bring that same level of
As
energy,
much
if
or more.
not more. Exactly.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, with all this new like stuff that Elizabeth has gotten integrated in there, like we didn't have quite the light show and like all that kind of stuff last year at the playoff game. It was beautiful, it was great, it was awesome, but like it's next level now. So like
Did you guys see that video of them doing the practice run for the light show?
Yes.
Oh, I can't wait.
I know, literal chills.
That looked like next level. I don't know what it looked like pre-game. You know, I mean, we know what it looked like in the stadium, but I don't know if I ever saw a view of that overhead. But what they're cooking up looked like they've turned the dial up after Monday night. I am super excited. My goal is to make sure my phone like works and I'm connected to it, because that did not work for me at the start of the Monday night game.
Yeah. Got to get in on that light show, girl. All right, guys, I'm going to bounce. I've got a lot of errands to run today and stuff going on, but I'm glad I got to spend a little bit of time with you guys. I'm so much FOMO. Definitely call me tonight. FaceTime me if you think about it.
We will. And everyone who's watching, Whit and I wore the same shirt and we didn't realize it. So twin status cemented.
Yes. Thanks, Cincy shirt. Yeah, I chose this because of like some King of the North vibes. Right?
Yep. Notorious 513.
That's right. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later. Hooday.
Bye, Whit.
See you,
Hooday.
Whitney. Hooday. All right. So, what do you say we keep moving on? We'll talk about the rest of the games going on in the NFL this weekend.
Let's do it.
All right. Let's just move chronologically. We got Seahawks and 49ers today at 4:30, and then we have the Chargers and Jaguars at 8:15. So, how are you feeling about Seattle going into San Francisco?
This one makes me sad for Seattle. I think there is no way in HE double hockey sticks that Seattle comes out of Los Gatos or wherever the heck that stadium actually is with a win. And then the news this morning I saw was that the Seattle Rams game had some of the most questionable officiating of the season, and that there were a lot of favorable calls. And what's funny, I wish Whit was still here because this is like a Tigress Talk conspiracy theory. So for years, people have said the league and the refs have it out for the Lions, just like forever. And then we all know that's my second team. And the Bengals also seem to be plagued by distaste by the league. But there are talks that the league made questionable calls in favor of the Seahawks so they'd beat the Rams, so that they'd keep Detroit out of any playoff contention.
Interesting.
That's my maybe not theory. End of the day, the Seahawks are not nearly good enough to beat that pretty fire San Francisco team, especially their defense. So I don't know, 49ers by like 80.
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling too. I know I've been checking my Betfred Sports app. Shout out to Betfred Sports. And I've been following the lines. I saw the Niners were 9.5 point favorites. But this is an NFC West matchup in the playoffs, which division rivalries always kind of get a little bit interesting. You got playoff football on top of that to make it, just add that level of excitement to it. But I am with you. I don't think I hate that because I got a couple Seahawks friends. I just don't. I'm not feeling the Seahawks today. I got the 49ers in this one.
What do you think
Sorry.
about this next one? Is one I'm most interested in, and Tyler will likely be out with the fans tonight, which we can plug. But the night game, Chargers at Jacksonville. What do you think?
Well, we kind of touched on this game a little bit last week, even before it. Well, no, it wasn't set at that point. We touched on this game last week. I'm trying my best to what's the word I'm looking for? Not prophesize, but
Manifest it.
manifest. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry, Allie. Scared me a little bit. But
I'll
I've
give
been
you a vicious
manifesting.
meow.
I'm a little scared because I don't think he got his little kitty Prozac in this morning. So I am a little bit on edge over here. That's why he was kind of getting a little chatty, my buddy. Uh, but I called this game. I picked this game last week, even before it was set. I think the Chargers win this. I think they're getting healthy at the right time, kind of similar to like the Bengals were last year. I think they're a little hot right now. Made some questionable decisions last week playing all of their starters. Uh, but I do like the Chargers in this one, and I probably feel more confident in this game for as close as it should be than what I should. I think I just made a stupid sentence. But anyways, I feel really confident about the Chargers winning this game. I think it's written in the stars for the Chargers to win this, beat the Chiefs next week, and get us a home AFC Championship game at Paycor Stadium.
So I think I'm with you. I do like the Jags. I like what they've done in the last half of the season. I think Trevor Lawrence is really reminding people why he was a first round draft pick. The whole Urban Meyer debacle last year. I like the Jags and I want good things for the Jags. There's part of me that would really love a Jags Bengals AFC championship in Cincinnati to kind of give us what was it, 2-3 years ago, Burrow Lawrence national championship for college football. But I will say, I like where your head's at, Tyler, and I think the Chargers, if we have to pick between the Chargers and Jags about who can most realistically or most likely beat the Chiefs, it's a hard battle regardless. I gotta go Chargers. So I have a good friend who's a Jags fan, but I'm gonna go Chargers in large part because I just want them to be able to beat the Chiefs. So Chargers it is.
And anything just to try to eliminate that neutral site AFC Championship game as fast as possible because I am so anti-neutral site location because I think once the NFL gets their hands on that, they're never going to turn away from it, and they're going to try to profit off that as much as possible. And it's I'm so anti-neutral site.
Yeah. Yeah.
So moving on to the Sunday games, which is when the fun ones are. We got Miami at Buffalo. Unfortunately, no Tua Tagovailoa back yet. I don't know. It sounds like Teddy Bridgewater might not play either.
Oh.
I know the last thing I read on this one was that they was prepping for, was it Skylar Thompson to start?
So
I'm trying to do a quick Google search.
that, I mean, how much can you say about a third string Dolphins quarterback in Buffalo during the playoffs? I mean, I would love the Dolphins to win. I really would. I'm going to be pulling for them. I just don't do you see a world in which this happens?
But from the little bit that I saw, and I just did see Skylar Thompson is starting for the Dolphins. So from the little bit that I saw from him, I mean, he can maybe put up some points, but not to the level that the Bills' offense can. And the Dolphins' defense is. I'm not high on them. I think they're really shaky, to be completely honest. So I think the Bills are going to cruise in this one.
Did they say that Damar Hamlin's going to actually be at the game too, watching?
I would imagine so.
And I think that, honestly, that brings superhuman energy,
Yeah.
right? Like when you've gone through that and you're now on when you go high, low, and you're on that high, I think they're going to have an adrenaline kick that's just going to be like nothing else. The fans, could you imagine if that was one of our guys and he was back home? Like the fans are going to be, that's a next level element. And
Yeah.
I literally see literally zero paths forward for the Dolphins.
Yeah. Did you see that video? I can't remember who the camera guy was, but he posted the video on Twitter. I think it was Monday morning. But it was his vantage point of that opening kickoff that they returned for a touchdown last week,
I
and
didn't
he
see
was
it.
he was in the end zone that Hines was running towards. It was the opposite corner of the end zone, but uh, the burst of sound from the fans that once he got into the clear that just erupted through that stadium was absolutely insane. So yeah, I'm sure they're probably going to do something on the field for Damar Hamlin tomorrow. They're probably going to bring him out in the field, and that place is going to. Bills Mafia is already rowdy as hell, but they're going to get up for that, and
And
there's
it's
going
going
to
to be
be.
unstoppable. That is an unstoppable force.
I'm kind of hoping they just get all their energy out this week, and hopefully if that's where we have to travel to next weekend, it kind of they don't have to ride that playing against us. So our next game on Sunday is the Giants at Vikings. How you feeling about this one?
Yeah, so
This
this
should
one's
be an interesting one.
interesting. This is an interesting one because on paper, or just record-wise, you'd be like, Minnesota. But I've been talking to a lot of people, and Minnesota's the shakiest. What are they? 13-3? Is that right?
Sounds about right.
They're the shakiest team with that kind of record. I think I'm still going to go Vikings. And this might be one of those picks that bites me in the butt afterwards. I think I'm going to go Vikings. It's at home. But I think this is probably the most toss-up for maybe Jags, Chargers, but Giants, Vikings. I don't know. I'm going to go Vikings, but I feel like the Giants could pull it off.
All right. Well, let's. Oh man, I've been back and forth on this one all week. I want to say I'm with you. I do really want to go with the Vikings in this one, but there's something weird about Vikings playoff football. I was just scrolling through Twitter this morning. Who was it? I think it was Blair Walsh was their kicker when they was playing at the University of Minnesota. Easy chip shot against the Seahawks, and he shanks it straight left. Um, Vikings football in the playoffs. It's just weird. They always come up with these weird moments, and I don't like the Giants to begin with. They're just they're a weird team to me. They've always been a weird team. Part of me wants to go Giants in this one.
It's possible. It's
What do I do?
possible.
I probably should put more thought into this.
No, that wouldn't be fun. Don't do that.
I'm gonna go. You know what? Just for the sake of argument, I'm gonna go Giants in this one. I think there's usually one surprise win in the wild card weekend. I know I picked the Chargers, but I don't feel like that's really a surprise. I think
No,
everybody's
those are
expecting
two
a big
pretty
game
evenly
there.
matched teams.
Yeah,
I'm
going to go.
Oh,
Oh, go
go,
ahead.
go. You're going Giants?
I'm going Giants.
I want my surprise to be the Dolphins beating Buffalo.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
That pipe dream probably won't come true, but if I'm going to have to pick a crazy upset, I'm going that one.
Obviously, we already talked about Ravens and Bengals on Sunday night. So our last game that we have to touch on here is Cowboys at Buccaneers.
This is an interesting one, too. What do you think, Ty?
Oh, man. Do you think it's interesting? I don't trust the NFC South for what it's worth. I know they got Brady, and Brady Bowl in playoffs is something else. But I feel like the Cowboys, despite a couple of shaky games here to close out the season, I feel like they're just a far superior team to the Buccaneers. I think the Cowboys are going to cruise in this one.
Yeah, so this is a hard one because, again, on paper, I go Cowboys. Then I think about Dak Prescott in playoff football. I don't know.
It repeats itself.
I'm like I feel like he gets yippy. I don't know, and so it's like the Bucks. I don't think are a great team. I don't really think the Bucks should be in the playoffs, but I'll write my letter to the NFL about seeding and divisions later. But Brady does do something in the playoffs. This is where I'm kind of trying to figure out where the NFL influence plays in. Like, do they want the old man narrative beats the one of the America teams? I circled Dallas. I feel like Dallas gets the W, but I feel like I'm going to regret saying that because there's something in my gut that says there's a weird chemistry that's going to bring the Bucks to the divisional round. But book it.
Fair.
I'm saying
That's fair.
Cowboys.
There was a stat. What did I see? I think it was the Cowboys have not won as a wild card team since 1991. I got it back. I should have verified that. But as a wild card team, the Cowboys have not won a playoff game since 1991.
Yeah, I don't feel like they're a good playoff football team. At least
It's
not
a
in
one. It's another one of those teams that always has something weird happen to them.
like Dak sitting on the turf. So we'll see. Maybe he's going to avenge himself. I'm not sure, but book it for Cowboys.
Alrighty. Well, that is our pick, sponsored by Betfred Sports. Shout out to them.
Sorry, Betfred, that
bumping
I have a bunch of trash picks. I hope no one actually listens to me because I pick with no information, no data, and with my heart and not my head. So that's how it goes.
Sometimes that's the best way to pick.
That's how it goes.
All right. So Meg was able to do another. I'm stuck on something else right now. ASL video for us this week.
Yes.
What do you say we learn some more sign language today?
Let's do it.
But back to back in the time. I started back on left to
Meg got me fired up.
No, I'm ready to go. It's too bad this game isn't going like
I know. Playoffs. I love it. Bengals playoffs.
I already have half that one down. I do that all the time.
I'm going to need to go back and watch to spell dog. I was like, I don't have the dexterity. I was like, my fingers need a little practice, but I
was
that.
still playing around with playoffs a little bit, and then I looked up and I was like, oh shit, she started another word. Oh shoot. So, where was I gonna say now? Bengals fans, if you're in Cincinnati tonight, Bridget, you're heading down to the Banks, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we got a little bit of a fan meetup tonight at the Holy Grail. That starts at, what was that, 8 o'clock?
8
I think
o'clock.
it was. Right on. So if you can make it down to Cincinnati, I know there's at least some Bengals fans that are meeting up down there. Did this last year before the Raiders playoff game. It was absolutely phenomenal. Got to meet a good majority of some of the big names that you see on Twitter. That's actually when I first met Whitney and the rest of the Tigers Talk crew. So butterfly effect there. That moment led to this whole show. So yeah, wonderful time last year. Hope to see some people down there. Yeah.
And if you see us, we would love to take pictures, put them on Twitter, let Whitney know we miss her. We know she wants to be here with us, couldn't make it up this weekend. So we got to let her know on Twitter that we love her and appreciate her. And she is with us in her Bengals Whitney spirit. So snag pictures, put them on Twitter, tag Whitney, and let her know that we love her so much and are so happy she is proud of she's part of the Houday Nation.
And on one more note, there is have fun tonight, but save your voices for tomorrow night. We need all that energy. Help our guys out on the field tomorrow, and yeah, let's have a great weekend. Enjoy tonight's games. Enjoy the playoff experience tomorrow night. Hopefully, we bring home a win. We keep this train rolling. We got some unfinished business to do here in the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe next week I'll be in New York eating wings. Who knows? We'll see.
There we go. Well, hey, guys, have a great day. Thanks for joining us here this morning. As always, Houday.
Houday.